Welcome to another episode of the SwarmCast, brought to you by Swarm Pest Control Marketing. If you're looking to take your pest control business to new heights, you're in the right place. In each episode, we've got a hive full of expert insights, strategies, and success stories tailored exclusively for pest control entrepreneurs.
And we are back for the SwarmCast episode 6.
Woo-woo.
We're getting up there, Lily.
I know.
What do you think about that?
I'm very excited. I'm excited for more episodes, and I'm happy for the episode we have going on today. It's going to be a good one.
We got to do something special for episode 10.
Yeah. Double digits.
Double digits. We need to do something crazy. Maybe have since I'm on my health kick, maybe like a vegan cake. What do you think?
You can have a vegan cake. I'll have a normal cake. A normal, maybe chocolate cake for me, but I'll get you a vegan cake.
Yeah, my philosophy is if I'm going to be unhealthy, I'm going to do it all the way. I don't even like diet soda.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go. My name's Shawn Campbell, the CMO of Swarm.
Yeah.
Our engineer / social media specialist / podcast guru is Lily Maddox.
Lots of slashes. Hello.
We just call you Slash.
Yeah, that works.
And we have a two-time. You're our first two-time special guest, Tai Robison.
Woo!
Your first two-time. Yeah. I think you should go back to Greg at Pest Friends and say, look, my influence is greatly, incredibly skyrocketing, and I need a raise. Yep. So, how you doing today, Ty?
I'm doing really good.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
We actually had a really good couple of weeks as far as new business goes. So
really,
oh yeah,
yeah. So, okay, we're gonna get a little off topic right away. Why do you think we had the increase in the new business in the last few weeks? The weather.
The weather is definitely a large factor.
Mm-hmm.
You know. With things warming up.
It could have been, you know, if it was happened in the last couple of weeks, that's when you're the first time you were a guest on the show.
Oh.
That could have been it.
That's true.
Yeah,
that could have been it.
Could have been it.
I don't think that's a coincidence at all.
Not at all.
No. You knew Slash over here just blew up the podcast.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, with all the little snippets and the trailers and the teasers and the episode itself. Mm-hmm. You know you're on iHeart. You're on Spotify. You are on
everywhere.
Apple Podcasts, on YouTube.
What?
Did you realize that, Ty?
No, I didn't.
Wow.
You're basically famous, Ty.
Yeah, you're famous. Yeah. You're not our famous yet.
Yeah, you'll get there once you have a couple more
I don't
features.
Know. Yeah. So I really think it's a myriad of things. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of pieces of a well-oiled machine working together.
Right.
You know, accompanied by the obvious weather factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
cool. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about customer service.
Yeah.
Customer service. I like talking about customer service.
Yeah. You know, I actually do too. And the thing that I really enjoy about customer service is with every interaction I have with a customer, I have the opportunity to make their situation that they're experiencing better.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You know, I mean, in a perfect world, Ty, your customers don't want to talk to you.
No, absolutely not.
And, you know, how many, other companies in the service industry, whether it's in pest control or HVAC or plumbing, I mean, I wonder how many customer service agents or managers or technicians lose sight of that fact. You know?
Yeah, you know, because like nobody calls us
most
of the time. Nobody calls us when things are going good.
Yeah.
You know, it's always like, oh my gosh, I've seen 50 roaches in the past hour. I need help right now. You know,
so fun.
Yeah,
I got a pack rat in my new Benz. Woo!
I actually did get an email over the weekend. A customer was servicing her HVAC, and she was just like, "Yeah, I think pack rats chewed up my wiring. I need an adult."
Yikes!
You know,
are pack rats kind of a nationwide thing for the other areas in the country where we got to explain what a pack rat is?
Yeah. So pack rats, to my knowledge, at least, they're pretty local to. I guess it's also a colloquial term. I'm not too sure. I'm a bug guy mostly.
Yeah.
But pack rats around here in southern Arizona are typically characterized by I think they're called like the brown desert rat or something.
Right.
But we're able to identify them by their nesting habits predominantly.
Yeah.
And they're called pack rats for a reason, because they're one of their favorite things to do is to take shiny objects and toys and build a nest out of it, you know?
Right.
Along with shredded pieces of cactus and Troya and
Yeah.
Oh, I hate Troya.
Yeah, back in my early days, I'll tell this story once again on SwarmCast here. One of my first marketing gigs, did I tell you this, Lily, was in pest control back in the day. And so in the first 2 weeks of my job, I sold more accounts than the owner had in the previous 12 months.
Yeah.
So guess who was out there, spraying for bugs? And I had the pleasure of dealing with pack rats too.
Actually, when I first started in the industry, my very first day was me cleaning out pack rat nests for the whole day. It was like a trial by fire. I'm 2 years. I'm 2 years out of the Marine Corps, and
man.
I'm still feeling like I got it.
Right. Right.
And then I get out there, and we're in 115 degrees and. Just shoveling all this pack rat debris around and agave. It was awful.
Yeah. We, a few months ago, we had our central part of town here in Tucson had a rat infestation. Remember that in the Sam Hughes neighborhood?
Yeah.
Were they pack rats too, or there was something else?
I think those were roof rats.
Roof rats. That's right.
Roof rats are coming in from Phoenix, and it's largely due to the influx in goods and transportation.
Yeah, very interesting case. Not so much for the people whose homes were affected by this. And there's beautiful homes in Tucson. By the way, they weren't like where I live or nothing like that.
Right.
I mean, roof rats.
And those are an entirely different beast than pack rats. I mean, given the name alone, but they're much larger. Yeah. And it requires an entirely different set of skills and understanding to be able to know how these guys are going to react to what you do.
Made the news and everything. Google it if you're not from here in Tucson or haven't heard about it. Pretty fascinating story, actually. But again, I feel bad for our friends in the Sam Hughes neighborhood about it. Beautiful homes. There's a bunch of roof rats just taking over the hood. But getting back to the customer service, so one of the questions we have for you today, Tai, was how can a customer service rep for a pest control company set expectations to the customer that ensures a success for that company?
So that I would say is due to what a customer service rep can do is, first of all, create almost like a word track, a system. They need to establish a system. So not only are they receiving the correct communication, but they also have guidance on how to deliver the expectations of what is going to happen.
Yeah.
What is the arrival window of the inspector? How long is the inspection going to take? What's going to happen during the inspection?
Right.
Because I've made this mistake before. I am far from being infallible, and there have been cases where I'll just try and quickly jot down the information and be like, okay, your name's this, your address is this. That's great. We'll have somebody out there between 10 and 2, and we'll take a look at those termites, right? When in reality, what I should have said was, okay, the arrival window for your inspector, his name is going to be XYZ, The arrival window is going to be between 10 and noon. We do that so that way if there's traffic or a flat tire, set that expectation.
Right.
And then the inspection itself will usually take between 30 minutes and an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the conclusion of the inspection, we're going to provide you with a succinct word picture of your pest environment and offer you solutions to the problem.
Nice. Yeah. Is there any way, like, can you imagine, like, if you were going to be like a consultant for another pest control company, and you're kind of creating this script? How do you prevent that customer service rep from not sounding overly scripted? You know what I mean?
So there's actually, I'm not advertising for this guy by any means, but there's a gentleman that I had the pleasure of receiving training from. His name is Andy Elliott, and he calls himself a master closer.
The master closer.
Yeah. Actually, I absolutely love him. He's got amazing energy and all that.
Does he specialize in pest control industry, or
actually he got his start in car sales.
car sales?
Oh.
So he got his start in car sales, and one thing that he did that liberated himself from the script, so to speak, is that when he was not in front of a customer, he was actually practicing with his coworkers.
Huh.
So what that enabled him to do is that enabled him to gain familiarity with what he was saying, and that allowed him to be able to maneuver that to each particular situation. You know, so if I were to have a script where it's just like, you must say this, you must say this, you must say this, the customer doesn't know you've got a script. They might jump from point 1 down to point 3, down to point 7, up to point 2, you know? So being able to gain familiarity with your script and, you know, and use that to your advantage, so that way you're guiding the conversation in a way that doesn't feel pushy.
Yeah. And it's going back to our first point we made, actually caring about the customer.
Yeah.
Realizing that the customer, you know, in a perfect world is not there to, you know, would rather be doing something else. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Another question we have for you today, Tai. Why are expectations important to the customer satisfaction? You know, I mean, kind of give a scenario, if you don't mind, where maybe you didn't really set great expectations and what happened,
Right.
versus something where you did set expectations and the customer was a lot more at ease.
Right. So I can paint this. I can actually succinctly paint both of those pictures for you. So one of my favorite things that I really love is actually treating German cockroaches. So
Do you treat them to like a little cup of tea and a biscuit?
Oh.
Or,
you know, every once in a while, you know.
yeah. You say, hey, let's go out to the movies tonight.
Right.
Come on, Hans.
But
German. Detlef. Let's go, Detlef.
fun fact, German cockroaches are from North Africa. But
Is that the reaction to my jokes?
Yes.
But I like German cockroaches. Treating them,
Oh, okay,
obviously. So when I first got started in the industry, I didn't understand what the expectation was. So that was a failing on my part. First of all, is not understanding what the expectation should be set for the customer. So when I made this sale, I told the customer that we were going to come out and we were going to treat the German cockroaches. You may hear that as somebody who knows nothing about pest control, and you hear, oh, they're going to come treat my German cockroaches, and think of that as, all right, they're going to be gone. They're going to be eradicated. You could twist those words to mean so many things, and I failed to set the expectation of how the process was going to go. And as a result, I got things under control, but we lost we ended up losing that particular customer because she didn't know what to expect, which did not enhance her experience.
Right.
So let's move on to another situation where the expectation was set. Hey, we're going to come out here. We're going to treat your German cockroaches. What that entails is we're going to vacuum up all the dead and live cockroaches. We're going to do a boric acid treatment of all the cracks and crevices. We're going to place some residual IGRs, and we're going to come back and check on you 2 to 3 times after the initial treatment to make sure we've taken care of everything to the best of our abilities.
Nice. Yeah.
There's a distinct difference between me saying that and saying we're going to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, what does doing it mean?
Right. Yeah. And you know, and we do this a lot with our clients sometimes. We speak in too many, you know, acronyms and you know, when we talk about PPC and SEO and stuff, we every once in a while we have to take a step back and realize that the pest control companies that we work with are phenomenal at doing what you do, and you know, we're phenomenal at doing what we do. But we, you know, it's important for us to set expectations too for our clients, in that it's a process. You know, it's like if we say we're going to take care of your SEO and PPC, and in the first month there's no new leads, it's like, well, we didn't set expectations that you know, you got a brand new website, or maybe there's broken backlinks, or maybe you know you had zero presence, or maybe there's some major issues that we had to take care of that first month. So that's probably why you didn't get any leads. You know, it's the same thing. So
it's being able to align the customer's expectations within your company's capabilities.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. That's got to be a trailer. That's got to be a teaser to this
clip.
episode.
We'll make it. We'll make it happen.
Yeah. Well, what other? What are some other like fun facts that you foresee? It's been a weird winter here, right?
It has.
We're in Tucson, Arizona, and usually during March Madness, or you know, during the time of the NCAA tournament, we are in shorts, t-shirts, you know, our sandals. And Lily's and wearing a jacket today.
I know.
I mean, I'm in shorts and a t-shirt.
But you're always kind of that way. But you know what I mean? But I am in a hoodie and I got my sweatpants on and I'm freezing when I go outside.
Yeah.
So here
It's
in
cold.
Tucson, it's
But it keeps going like, it gets up to like 80 and then it's like 60. And then I'm like, what?
With the lows, overnight lows in the 40s, which is very uncanny here in the
temperature
Southwest.
looks like an EKG. Like it is blowing my mind.
So for the people in the Southwest region where we're experiencing this type of weather, how was that going to affect, you know, the pest control market, your business in the summertime?
So I just want to make sure I'm understanding the question.
Yeah.
How is the weather now a predictor for what may happen in the summer?
Right.
Okay. So that could be a lot of things, to be completely honest, because it's getting a little warm a little early out here.
You think so?
It feels like it to me. It was cold forever last year.
It seems like it's the same this year, doesn't it?
No, I remember being bundled up like you guys at this time last year. But
I don't know. Okay, so
like
yeah.
So the pest activity down here is mostly in sync with the monsoons.
Right.
Mostly.
Yeah.
The weather warming up early just means the bugs wake up a little early.
Okay.
Their breeding and their mating habits. So we'll take swarming ants and termites for example.
Right.
You know, they swarm at, you know, the same or similar time every single year, and that just so happens to be around monsoon season.
Yeah.
So the pest activity will likely continue to you know, follow that pattern. What I think is important to know though is that because the pest activity is increasing, it is our responsibility as pest control technicians to react accordingly and adjust the procedures in accordance with the weather.
You are answering my next 2 or 3 questions here, right? So and for the pest control companies that are just kind of barely getting started, or if you're thinking about starting a pest control company, one thing we've learned as a digital marketing agency for our clients is that we need to do just as much research on those types of patterns, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any particular, or is it just your experience now? Are there any particular resources for companies out there that may look into, okay, this is the weather pattern, this and that. This is how we should anticipate the next 6 to 12 months of our business?
So that's
a good question.
That is a very good question. Oh my goodness. So what I will say is this, is that most years they follow a typically standard weather pattern. There is another company that exists out here that is not us, named Truly Nolan.
Yeah.
Truly Nolan, they have what is called a 4 seasons service. And with that service, they outline the 4 seasons of the year and how each season should receive treatment. So it's about knowing your environment and the capabilities that you have to do that, because as you scale your company and you accommodate more people, it's going to require that you have more products to make those adjustments. I mean, because you may go out there with Temperate FX, and Temperate FX is good at 365 days out of the year, but when do you use Talstar, or when do you use Niban,
right?
Things like that. So being able to keep that in mind, you may not be able to do it now, but you could set that as a goal.
Yeah. So Lily, the moral of the story is that as a pest control company, you don't want to adjust on the fly.
Yeah.
No, not necessarily. Being able to have
on the fly. I get
Oh
it.
gosh, get the crickets going.
I'm ready.
Yes.
But no, being able to have a technician that can accurately assess a situation and then provide a sound treatment option on the fly, so to speak, is a very valuable thing to any company.
Yeah. The one thing about this, every episode so far, we've given a lot of gold nuggets to anybody out there listening, to all the companies, not just our clients, but if you have any questions for Tai or ourselves here at Swarm, just put them in the comments. We're very, very transparent. How, if you want us to do an assessment on your website, your SEO, your social media in particular, put something in the comments, message us, and we'll be happy to get to you, schedule a time, let us know what your website is, so we'll be kind of prepared to give you a really good analysis, so we can be considerate of your time and ours too. So, but any last words on SwarmCast number 6?
SwarmCast number 6.
No, you're going to come back in 2 weeks, though, right?
Yeah, I'm going to be back. Is that going to be number 7?
Probably. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
I think so. And if you have a topic for us before that, again, put it in the comments and let us know. Otherwise, we're just going to wing it. Until next time, we appreciate you all. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for tuning in, and remember, whether you're dealing with termites, ants, or the challenges of entrepreneurship, Swarm Pest Control Marketing has your back. And if you're hungry for more pest control marketing goodness, head over to swarmpestcontrolmarketing.com for additional resources, guides, and insights tailored to your business's growth.